Good morning, everybody. This is Stephanie with Kate's Crafts, and I know it's been a while for those who have watched me before. But yeah, life has just been kind of crazy busy again, which is good and bad all at the same time, I think. But if you found this channel, this is my Flosstube, which means it is a channel about cross stitch and other crafting, and generally all cross stitch lately these days. But I am Kate's Crafts here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And I've had a number of new subscribers over the last 2 weeks. So if you're new, please drop a comment and say hello and let me know how you found me. And thank you for coming. And for those who have come back, again, sorry for the long gap in videos, but um, I am really glad that you've taken the time to come back. And please let me know that you've come back and just like the video. If you don't have time to leave a comment, that would be fantastic. I think we all feel like we're talking out to the void every once in a while. So it is nice because the only reason I started this channel was to be able to connect with the others in the Flosstube community. And I am so thankful for this community and for all of you. So thank you. Uh, Say good morning. This is my new mug from my stitchy friend Gail. Um, More about that to come. So I will say good morning. I'm actually having some coffee today. So I will say I'm usually a right-handed drinker, and then to be able to show you guys this, I have to flip it around. So I'm horribly afraid I'm gonna spill something. If you see the back of the mug later, that's why. All right. Um, So again, welcome. I wanted to start out with what some others are doing, and I'll be honest, I've heard a couple of people mention just who started this, and um, I can't pinpoint exactly. I haven't traced it back myself, but I know um, Michelle Bendy Stitchy and Janet Jabber all call out those who are in the under 1,000 subs club here on Flosstube. And so I thought I would do the same. Pam, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, also has done this, and she recently just graduated to the over 1,000 sub club. So very happy for you, Pam. Good friend of mine, and she does great Flosstube. If you don't watch her, you should. Again, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. Um, but I wanted to call out a couple folks that I've been watching for a while and a couple that are newer. And, just to keep there's always a new floss tube to find, right? We can never run out of floss tube. So, like I said, check out Pam. So, the Pattern Queens is Keisha and Laura. They do floss tube as well as stitch with me. They kind of alternate, and they're super fun. And Laura is with her daughter Katie do the Black Needle Society and the Love You More Studio Co. Book sleeves. And they're just fantastic people. Laura and Keisha just have fun conversations. Their whips are fun. Um, and, they just I can't believe they don't have over 1,000 subscribers. So go check them out. They're absolute sweethearts. Another person that I've gotten to meet through the stitching community is Kat, and Kat from Kat V Stitches. And I will put a link to their latest videos down below, anyone I mention. And she is in England, and I've met her through Erin, Two Martini Stitchers Flosstube membership group community. And she is super sweet, and she has cats. I love her cats. They're adorable. And her whips are super fun. And she's newer to Flosstube, but her videos are really great. So I've just started. I'm kind of catching up on the couple earlier ones. So check her out, Cat V Stitches. And then third for today is Gail's Golden Needle. And I've also met Gail through the Black Needle Society stitching group. They do monthly stitching meetups, I guess, in their Facebook group. And I've met Gail through there, and she's super sweet. She also does quilting, and it is amazing. Her quilts are beautiful. So I have a couple friends who quilt. My grandmother quilted. I have full respect for the quilting craft. it is not something that I've ever tried. I can't say that I'm bad at it because I've never tried it, but I'm not a sewer by nature. Like I'm not a seamstress. I don't use a sewing machine other than to like edge my fabric. So I, it's a completely I'm in over my head in that world, but I can certainly appreciate it. So, but her cross stitching is great, and she's just an absolute sweetheart. And I actually won a giveaway from Gail not too long ago, and this mug was included in my giveaway. So thank you, Gail. Love it. And the other stitchy kindness I received is this awesome project bag that she made. She included some goodies inside, so those out. But so Gail is near Chicago, and she made this bag, and it's got the Chicago Metro line map on it. And this is quilted. She quilted it, of course, because she's a quilter and amazing. Um, and then it's got this pretty teal fabric, and on the back, it's got this like kind of Chicago phrases, and more city downtown type stuff. And it's just a great bag. It's a great size. Um, Definitely big enough to fit any of my projects or my Q snaps. And then she included some goodies. So I'm going to show you those. Some of these are like some chenille like finishing trims. We've got like a purple and a black and a green. And that green is like an emerald kind of, it matches the bag perfectly. I'm sorry, I've got some light blowout issues here. And then she also included this little fun ort catcher. You have a little bin and put your little orts in it, and then it collapses and you can just tuck it right inside the bag. Super thoughtful that she made that and gave it away on her channel, and I was lucky enough to win. So thank you again, Gail. Super sweet. She also included a few DMCs and a magnetic needle case and the tail end weavers, along with a very, very thoughtful card. Thank you, Gail. I will put that bag to good use. Now that I've shown it officially in a video, I feel like I can use it. So those are the 3 newer under 1,000 sub channels that I would recommend for this week. And if I'm recommending someone in here, it's because I do watch them. I will say the last 3 weeks, I am way behind on Flosstube, way behind, even of like my diehard good friend Flosstubes. So this is Memorial Day weekend that I'm filming this. I should have said that. It is Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and actually, let's just pause for a moment. Do we hear anything? It's silence. My husband's taking the kids fishing. I had the house. That's why I could film a video. I had the house completely quiet and to myself. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Love my kids, but it's rare that I'm home alone. So I take every minute that I can get. Okay. All right. So stitching. I've done some things since we last talked, which I think was Easter. So I guess I'm on a holiday kick. And last time I have one finish. It will be FFO today after this video. I made this piece for my mom for Mother's Day, and to be fair, I did give it to her for Mother's Day. I just gave her the frame and the piece, just not framed. But I did finish it in time for Mother's Day, and this is by BarbaraAnna Designs, and this is Dreaming of Klimt. And I think when you saw it last time, I didn't have the swirls, and I was just above her forehead there. So I stitched this. I started this like April 4th, April 10th, somewhere around there, right around just before Easter. And I finished it end of April. So this is stitched on a piece of 32 count even weave from Color and Cotton. It was a grab bag that I got, and this is the size that came in the grab bag. And it just happened to work out perfect for this piece. The brighter yellow in there is the DMC satin color. And I did stitch everything with as called for, and I got the BarbaraAnna pattern from Creative Poppy. I really love it. My mom loves it. She thought it was really great, and I'll try and remember to take a picture of it framed and then include that in my next video so I can show you guys how it looked FFO'd because I'll have given it to her by then, hopefully. So I do have a finish, which is exciting. I don't feel like I've had many this year, which is disappointing, but when I look at how big the pieces I'm stitching are, I have to be realistic. I'm not going to have 100 finishes. I'm not making that kind of progress. And to be perfectly honest, as I don't want to get too philosophical, but does anyone else? So for those of you who came back to cross stitch during the pandemic or significantly increased your stitching time during the pandemic, do you feel that with everything going back to normal, are you worried about the time? Because I want to be stitching way more than I am now, and I can feel like, I mean, before COVID, I wasn't sitting around with tons of free time. So prioritizing my time to get that same amount of stitching is getting more and more difficult, especially as kids' activities come back and whatnot. I think we were invited to 5 birthday parties in the last 3 weeks for kids. It's just like 0 to 60. And part of me is extremely excited, especially for the kids. Like, I know my kids want to be going to birthday parties. These are at parks or outdoor places. So we feel comfortable with going to most of them, or sports type birthdays. But it's a lot of driving back and forth, and that you got that time back. So I've had to start thinking, and I think it's going to allow me to actually focus more on the stitching that I love rather than, and really taking to heart any new starts because I only have so much time, right? So anyway, that's my philosophical question of the day. So if you have thoughts on that, though, weigh in down below because I hope I'm not alone. It freaks me out that I'm like, I want to be able to spend my Saturdays and Sundays. I mean, I would do stuff with my kids, but I didn't have to drive around anywhere, so I could pick up stitching here and there. Or by the time I went to bed, I wasn't completely exhausted, so I could stay up late a little bit stitching, especially on the weekends. Not happening so much. Okay, so that brings me to, speaking of that, a new start. I did not participate in any sort of mania, mayhem, May, anything. I was just trying to get through May. A lot of stuff with work, again, a lot with the kids, a lot of other stuff. But I did have one start because I showed you this in my haul last time. This is AHTEE, and it's a Quaker by Kathy Barrett. And I wanted to start this in May because I'm going to do this as like an anniversary piece for my husband and I. And I'm going to change it with our initials here and the year we got married. So I am starting that, and I am decided to stitch it on a Jody fabric, which I think I showed this last time. And this was the piece I got in her first month. Sorry, I've not ironed. And I am not usually a center starter, but with the motifs the way they are, I decided to just start in the center this time. So this is my start. Actually, let me hold it over here. Get a little closer. So I am stitching it with Classic Colorworks Baking Tin. This was the new color that came out for them at with the Needlepoint Expo. And again, this is on Jody fabric, and this is 36 count linen. So I just have the start, probably about half of that center motif, the laurel ring, whatever you want to call it. So I am going to swap out some of the letters in here to be letters that are more significant, like for our family. Some of them are already applicable, which works out perfect. But a couple of them I am going to have to swap out and move things around. But I'm excited to kind of make it my own. And this is my first Quaker. And Michelle Bendy Stitchy is now doing a Quaker SAL because she finished her Halloween Quaker. And because I'm officially stitching a Quaker, I can join. So I'm excited because I love stitching with Michelle. She's a super fun. And I'm sure that group of folks who gets together on there is just as much fun. So I am storing this for right now in a Love You More Studio Co sleeve. This is the smaller size that I got, and the chart doesn't fit in there, but that's okay. I'm really okay with that. So, all right, so that's my new start. All the rest are updates of WIPs, and no particular order because it's been a little while. This is just how they're stacked right here. So the first one is my Harry Potter book covers. This is by Fox and Teacup Designs. I do not have a cover sheet with me. Sorry for that. I did unclip the top of my Q-snap though, so you can see how far I've gotten. This is in book 1. Last time you guys saw it, I was just coming down into the pink here, so I added this. This is the broom that Harry's on in the first book. So this is starting, this is all going to be, up here I was in Browntown, and I was so happy when I got out of Browntown, and I'm going back into Browntown in the broom. And then I go down to Graytown down here. So this is almost everything you're seeing stitched here is $37.99, and there's a whole bunch more grays in here. So, I still love this piece, and this is, like I said, the width of book 1, and this was my WIPGO for May to do 2,000 stitches. I am not quite there. I am like 1,200 stitches. So that's okay because they're year-long goals. So I will just continue working on this. My needle minder here is from Fangirl Fibers, and it is a Dole Whip. I love that. And I am stitching this on 25 count easy grid, and I am doing 2/1 pent stitch. So, yep. And that's on Pattern Keeper, so that helps me keep going a little faster. But, yep, Harry Potter book covers. I love this piece. I want to make more progress on this one. All right, what do we have next? Oh, so this one is Welcome to Tatooine from Country Magic Stitch. This one I stitch on for May the 4th be with you for Star Wars Day. So I don't think last time I filled in. So since I last showed this to you, she has, I believe, maybe I'm double speaking, but that's okay. She has switched to be Pattern Keeper compatible. So if you bought an older chart from her and you don't have it in Pattern Keeper, they're now fully compatible in Pattern Keeper. So if I just reached out to her because I was going to buy a few more and asked if she was now in Pattern Keeper. And so I bought a new one, but she back sent me all the ones I had purchased before because she was a sweetheart. So this whole darker orange here went in so much faster, and the brown here with Pattern Keeper, I made so much more progress. So that's how far I've gotten. This is on 18 count Ada. It's easy grid, but it is stiff. I don't know why the Lugana is not as stiff as the Ada. But you can see, I mean, I've got about even borders here, so I'm not very far across, and I'm not very far up and down, but progress nonetheless. And I have a set of 4 of these, so I have 1 Star Wars, 1 Lord of the Rings, 1 Game of Thrones, and 1 Harry Potter. And I want to do all those fandoms and then frame them. I'm doing them all on the 18 count Ada, and I'll frame them all and put them in my craft room. So I'm a fan. I'm getting ready for that. Excuse me. All right. Next, I have my other WIPGO for May, and this was also WIPGO for April. And I did not meet my WIPGO goals yet, but that's okay. As I said, they're yearly goals. Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. And I think last time you guys saw it, I had just stitched the words down to woolen sweaters. I may have started the car. I don't think so though. So I've added those and started with a couple of the motifs. For WIPGO, my goals are 2 phrases and 2 motifs to be done. So that should get me 4 phrases and 4 motifs from where I was at my WIP parade. And I'm not there yet, but that's okay. This is the full width. This is 25 count even weave. This is Opal, and it's in the colorway Vanilla Latte by Brandy at Stitch Me. You can kind of see the shimmer in there. I am using a modified color palette. I'm using some of the DMC, and then I'm using some of the overdyed color and cotton as called out by Priscilla from Housewives of Cross Stitch on Flosstube. That's what we're watching. And I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count. So yes, it's tiny, but that's okay. I have a old, like I bought it like years ago at Archivers to hold like a scrapbook page, but it's narrow and distressed like a wood shutter that I think I'm going to finish this and clip it onto. So that is as far as I got on that. It was nice to kind of break up the writing though and do some of the motifs, although I will say obviously they're more time consuming. So that's why I didn't get as far, but progress. And this is also in a Love You More Studio Co. sleeve. This was their Black Friday Hot Cocoa one, so I thought that was perfect for the Christmas list. All right, my next one is Frogwarts Year 1 from the Black Needle Society. And from the last time you guys saw this, I finished filling in the umbrella, and I started Aloha Mora. And to be honest, I think I've come full circle, and I'm okay saying that I am going to UFO this project. Now, I'm not UFOing the pattern, but I'm UFOing it on this fabric. I thought I liked it. This is Honey in 36 count linen from Brandy at Stitch Me. There's nothing wrong with the fabric, but it's looking a little bit more peachy, pinky than I wanted as I'm stitching it. And I've decided that I'm going to change my strategy for Frogwarts. So Frogwarts is, as I mentioned, hosted by the Black Needle Society, and this is year 2, and I'm attending their year 2 retreat. And so they're going to have 7, they've already committed, they're going to have 7 years and 7 patterns with each book. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Harry Potter junkie, like huge. Very, very excited for this retreat. And I want to be more true. I don't know. I was watching the movies, they were on TBS or whatever, USA for a marathon weekend, which I think they're doing this weekend. If I get this up tonight, check tomorrow. But at the beginning of the movies, and you didn't realize it as they came out a couple years apart, but when you go back and watch them and you compare them, the opening scene with the Warner Brothers logo that comes up is like gets progressively darker as you go from movies 1 through 8. And obviously the content gets darker if you're familiar with Harry Potter. The struggles, the battles, the stuff that they're all dealing with in the wizarding world gets darker and heavier content as you go through. And I think that's what I want to do. I want to switch it to stitch on lighter fabric for year 1 and then get progressively darker through to book 7. So I am going to use this fabric, which I received from the Forbidden Fiber Co. Mandalorian box. It's the perfect size for Frogwarts Year 1, I think, as far as I've mapped it out. And I think I'm going to restart on that fabric. And then I'm going to restart with all the overdyes instead of DMC. So I did not buy the second year fabric that they called out from Seraphim. I did, however, get Dead Sea Scroll from Seraphim, and I picked that up at Garon Stitchery, which Gary and Ronnie, they started making the project bags and grime guards, and now they've moved on to a full like online LNS. I guess that's an ONS, but they're fantastic. They have a great Facebook group as well, and I picked this up from them. This is Dead Sea Scroll, and it is modeled. So this end here is a little bit lighter, and then this side here is like darker. You can kind of see that. At least this half is. I may try and see if I can turn it, but I don't know how much border I'll have. So I'm hoping that this could be like years 3 and 4 or 3 and 5. And then this is just kind of like too big of a jump. So I want to go up to stitches and things and just try and find something in the middle. I may have a brandy fabric. I think I have oat from them, but I don't know that it's much darker than this one. So I got to play around with that, and I got to get ready because June is when year 2 fabric comes out. So I'm gonna have to go figure something out. And then I also have this vintage country mocha, and that would fill in for either year 4 because that's lighter in some places, or I'll do that for year 5. So I'm set. I just have to get 2 squared away, which of course I need in like 2 weeks. So that's that with the Frogwarts. So yeah, my first official UFO, and it's kind of, I mean, I'm probably about 25% done, maybe 30, but I'm not going to be happy on this. And I still, I mean, this is a fairly good size of fabric. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. There's just nothing wrong with it. It's just not me. So I will use the rest of this fabric if, you know, if someone wants this. I'm not going to be able to serge the edges probably, but I could probably cut it off and mail it to you if you want. So I guess if someone wants this, let me know. None of the pattern, not the flosses or anything are included. You can still buy the pattern from Black Needle Society directly, but if someone would want that, you're more than welcome to it. Okay. All right. 2 more whips. And the next one is my Roxie SAL. Before I hold it up, Roxie is being run, it's a mystery stitch along being run by Jean Farish of Jean Farish Needleworks. You can purchase the pattern on Etsy, although the mystery stitch along is far enough along now. I think she's pulling it off, and then you can buy it in August or September when it's complete. And I'm not a sampler stitcher, generally speaking. As you can see, most of my stuff is full coverage. Harry Potter, Tatooine. Frogwarts is not, but it's also not really a sampler either. And then I have a couple of Hades that are coming up here to show you. But I wanted to learn specialty stitches, and I wanted to try a sampler. So thus the hashtag Steph Stitches a Sampler Sal was born. So I am doing this along with her group. The first release was March. No. Yes, March 1st, because we're on part 3. So we've had a March, April, and May release, and I am not fully caught up on anything. That's not true. I finished part 1 completely. Part 2 starts going down the sides, and then part 3 fills in the middle, and I want to kind of all go down at the same time a little bit more. So I am holding off on finishing 2 as I get to 3 and into 4. That being said, she took a traditional sampler and has kind of brightened it up, and I'm just stitching it on plain white 40 count linen from 123 Stitch. I've never stitched on 40 count, so I wanted to start kind of easy, and she is a big fan of Cosmo Floss, and I just am doing it in the DMC. Is what it is. I still like it, and I'm learning a lot. Specialty stitches so far are, well, here, I'll show you. This is where I'm at. The rest of the group, she calls for it to be stitched on 30 count over 2, and I'm stitching 40 count over 2. So you can see mine is like smaller. But mine is going to fit in an 11 by 14 frame standard. So that'll be nice because I can just frame it with like a frame right off the shelf from Michael's or even maybe IKEA or something. So specialty stitches, this is just a gingham stitch. She called it out in a specialty section, but it's not a specialty stitch per se. We have a double herringbone here in the purple. There's like 2 shades of purple in there. And then there's a single herringbone below that in the yellow. You can see there's a satin stitch border here. Different. And that is 2 strands over 1 hole on 40 count. So I need good lighting for that. And then here we're doing an entire alphabet out of Algerian eyelets. So I'm just obviously getting into that, and they alternate color, which is what this is my waist knot up here for my eyelets. This is a long arm stitch. And then this one here is the start of a rice stitch. recovery. So June 1st, so Tuesday, we'll get part 4. And then I want to try and stay up to date on this because, so the original sampler by Roxana is on display in Cape May, New Jersey, at their judicial building, which is kind of their historical society there. And it so happens that in July, my family and I are going to be going to the Jersey Shore, and we will be not too far from Cape May. And we'll probably take the kids there for a day anyway. And I want to try and be as far along on this as I can so I can take it with me and be a dork and take a picture of my sampler next to the original. Yes, I'm a dork. It's okay. I think that's going to be kind of fun. It'd be great if it was finished, but we won't get the last installment until August, so it wouldn't be in time. But maybe if I go back next year, I'd do that. Maybe I'll wait on framing it until after I could do that. So anyway, Roxy, I don't hate samplers. I think Pam, Erin, and Annie, I'm talking to you. You're laughing. And Michelle, Bendy, and I are both doing samplers that have lots of Algerian islets on it. So we're going to commiserate because I think for the whole alphabet, I think there's like 400. Yeah. But again, very proud of that. Just because it's something different for me. It seems like the last couple months I've been really trying to branch out, where last year I just went all in, full coverage. And now I'm trying to have a mix, but the last couple months have definitely been less full coverage. And I want to go back to full coverage more, especially with Pattern Keeper. A lot of these samplers and whatnot, I've either bought the charts from my LNS, or like Roxy, it's a PDF, but it's not in Pattern Keeper. So, you know, I just want to set up Pattern Keeper and stitch. So is what it is. All right, my last WIP that I had progress on is my special favorite WIP. It is my focus piece for the year. It is my 21,000 stitches in 2021 piece for full coverage Fanatics. It is also my focus piece for Semi-Sane Stitchers. That being said, I was aiming to get like 2,000 stitches a month on it, minimum of 1,750 to keep up with my 21,000. I did really well until March, and then it just, right? So kind of like a diet or an exercise routine. I need to get back on the bandwagon. So April was a little better. I pulled out a little bit more, and then May I got 1,000 stitches on it in May in like the first 4 days. So I've made a ton of progress there as far as getting back into it, but now I need to really buckle down. So again, it's not called for WIPGO, which really helps. But it had its birthday. So I got back into cross stitch last year in May, and I found Flosstube in May, and I started stitching my first Haid in May. So this piece is just over 1 year old. It's like 1 year and 1 week, and I have completed 16,500-ish stitches on it, and it is my Floral Bird of Paradise. And I took it off the frame. I'm going to iron it. You can see hoop marks. Sorry. I did not iron it for today, though. Sorry, don't hate me. And for those of you who've never seen this before, if you're new, thank you. This is my life of heck in 3865 and 3770. So I'm going to go very close here. You can see, except for this little patch here, this here is all stitched in white. So when I hold it back, you can't really tell because there's so much white over here still. But yeah, it's a lot of cream, and the cream on white is difficult. I was so happy when I got to a green leaf. I think everyone who watches this was excited when I got to the green leaves. So there's the white and cream in the border, right? And then there's all the white and cream here too. And you can see that cream just adds some kind of modeling to it. I think there's 80,000 stitches in 3865. It's 21 skeins in this piece. And when this is done, it will be 25 inches by 25 inches. So you can see I have outlined. That is how big. You can barely get it in one shot there. So I'm not anywhere close to where I thought I'd be. I was delusional last year, thought, hey, I'll stitch up right quick, you know? And I think I made a lot of progress very quickly when I started because that was, of course, the only thing I was working on. And so, yeah, so I need to refocus. That's okay. I just want this done not in 10 years. Like 3 to 4 years would be okay. I'm okay with that, but I'm not on track to hit that right now with the pace I'm going, especially if you count that I'm adding new starts. So I foresee a no new starts or no new start without a page finish or some sort of challenge maybe for 22, just to keep myself in check. But yeah, so happy birthday. Happy birthday. This is, I should have said, this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Joe Lynch. And I'm stitching this on 18 count Aida, 2/1 full cross. And this is just the Aida from Michaels because I started this, as I said, without knowing about Flosstube really much. And it was just at the beginning of the pandemic, so you couldn't get anything anywhere else. I specifically remember kidding. I had a 40% off your entire purchase to Michaels. And I got the fabric and all 88 floss colors for like, I want to say it was like the entire thing kitted up for like $38. You couldn't do that today. DMC's gone up 4 or 5, times, like not times their cost, but they've had price increases here and there. And the coupons are nearly not as good anymore at Michael's, so I will enjoy that 5 years of entertainment hopefully will have cost me $40. So those are my whips. Thank you for sticking around this long. It's exciting, right? I just have a very, very small bit of haul because I am trying to do better about buying things. Now, one of the things, and sorry, I didn't take it out of the bag. Crinkle that here. One of the things I bought was, I think I showed you in my last video that I bought Resistance is Futile from Long Dog Samplers, and it's a band sampler, tall, skinny, narrow. And I had bought it thinking I would put it on this like olive green, army green kind of color fabric from Brandy and maybe stitching it in cream. I still may do that, but I was on a Friday night fight night and I was good and didn't get any fabric, but then bid on this Galaxy silk, and I got 100 yards of it. I think, oh, I cracked myself up. Let me use this as a backing here. Again, sorry, the sun is coming out and the light is coming in, which is natural light is good, but it's kind of blowing things out. So you can see this has got like a aqua, like a fuchsia, and then like a darker purple in it. It's gorgeous. But I mean, if I don't stitch a long dog, what am I going to use 100 yards for? Right? So I might convert that long dog and just stitch it on white and stitch it with silk. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Because I like some of I think Athena from Stitching Goddess Designs is stitching her pandemic on, I want to say it's from Silks for You, maybe. But it's a variegated, it's not exactly the same, but it's variegated silk like that, and it's beautiful. So, and a lot of people have started pandemic that way, and I'm thinking that maybe I'll just try it, you know. So we'll see. But can't go wrong with Brandy Silk. And then speaking of Athena, Stitching Goddess Designs, last time I showed you, I got a shirt that had her cross stitch. You wouldn't understand. It's a cross stitch thing. And she's also making shirts for Frogwarts. And since I am a proud Gryffindor, I wanted a burgundy shirt to wear, a new shirt. And she's selling these in the Frogwarts group. And it says, I solemnly swear that I am up to so good. And on the back, Stitches Managed. Stitches Managed. Is that adorable? So I love the footprints. They're really cute. Um, so this will be for the retreat, one of the days that I wear because it's 4 days. Um, I've got a couple of shirts planned, and this is going to be a nice addition. And Athena and I are also working on having, because she is, of course, if you watch her, you know she's a proud Slytherin, and we're still friends. It's okay. And we're also working on having our nails coordinate. So she has picked up some green and silver color street, and I have some burgundy and gold, and I put on my Chelsea later from Color Street, and as a trial run. So I have that. It's got a little bit of a rose gold in it, but it's still beautiful. And but yeah, so looking forward to that as well. And then the last bit actually was another giveaway that I won. So the Black Needle Society had their up all night retreat where we actually stitched for 24 hours straight from was for me 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. Friday to Saturday. And I won two giveaways. And in one of them, I won the Pajama Queen, which actually I forgot, and I haven't taken off the tag, but I was crowned the Pajama Queen. We'll tuck that back there. So I can just finish the video with this. Um, mhm. So I won this crown, and along with that, I also won this beautiful set. There were a few other things in there that were all fabulous, but I wanted to show the silks because they're to die for. These are for Treenway Silks in Lakewood, Colorado, treenwaysilks.com. And I'm not going to say all the names, but I won this that they put together for them for the Up All Night Midnight set. So these are really gorgeous. There's this one that has like purple blue variegation in it. But look at those little nuggets. Little nuggets of silk. They're so cute. So 5 of those. And then I also won one of the digital stash dives. So I won the Daybreak silks as well. Same company. Look at those. Aren't those fabulous? Look at that. It's got all of these colors in it, plus like a dark magenta. So this could be another contender for like the long dog, and I could do each band in a different color. So I'm gonna have to pull that out and play around with it on different fabric and see what I think. But thank you so much to the Black Needle Society for that. Again, I know it was a giveaway that I won, but so generous. I mean, and I haven't done much in silk at all. I haven't bought silks, so it's exciting other than Brandy's. But it's going to be exciting to try some. So thank you. And the last bit of haul I haven't even opened yet, and I'm hoping you have some feedback. So I bought this Easy Stitch 30-inch scroll frame set, Amazon. Now, I've had a couple people recommend this, and this is the one where on the scroll frame, there is the like part of the Velcro, and then you get Velcro tape to put on your piece, and it sticks on the fabric. And I guess the glue is very sticky. It does not come off well. So it has to kind of be sacrificial fabric, which I didn't realize at the time. So the frame itself is 30-inch scroll rods, and then these pieces here are, I think, 11 inches for the sidebars. That's 11 inches. So I have not even unboxed it yet because I kind of wanted to double check, watch some videos. I was second guessing myself. I wanted to put my Bird of Paradise on there because I thought I could make a lot more progress on it. And unfortunately, it is like 3 inches or 2 inches too short. And this is the longest one that was on Amazon. And none of the LNSs seem to have them in stock right now. And because I was looking at getting roll a frame, I got to wait like 4 months. So for next month, what I was thinking is, this is my other Haid. This is, and I have not worked on this since March. So you've seen the last update. This is mini. It's one of the minis, white magnolia, and this is by Marianne Broom, but charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I want to work on this. This is actually a perfect length because this will go from like here to here. I think it's 5 pages across. I think 4 or 5 pages across. And this, you can kind of see the line there for 1 page. So this fits perfectly. And with the length of the bars, I'll be able to see 1 page. So I could work my way completely across the piece before I have to roll it. And I'm wondering if this might help me make more progress. The other one I was going to check is Harry Potter book covers and see how that would fit, because I also want to work on that a bunch as well. So we shall see. One of these two is going to end up on there. I just need to figure out which one. And if I have enough Velcro tape, maybe both. I don't know how much they give you. But I want to try using a scroll frame and see how that works. I know a lot of people love them. So if you've used this one with the Velcro on it, let me know. Do you like it? Does it work? I hope so. I have to decide if I want to send it back, but I think I'm going to keep it. So that's that. That is my life right now. So I hope you're doing well. We're all vaccinated here now. Well, the adults are vaccinated, the children are not. We have 2 days of school left. So then the joy of summer camps and other things that are stressing me out beyond belief start. Because they've been in person in school all year, but they've been in cohorts and they've been, masked, and now there's no masks and different campers every Monday through Friday. And like I said, COVID's over. Did you get the memo? It's over. So frustrating. I don't know why it gives me more anxiety with the kids. I think that's just being a mom, but I don't know. So we're slowly working our way back to normal, I guess, and looking forward to hopefully keeping some trips out there. We were supposed to go to Disney next week, and we delayed that, so we're planning a fall trip now, and I think that's a good thing. Just get a little bit more of the vaccination stuff out of the way, hopefully, and see where we're at. And if we have to delay again, we will. But that's the plan right now. And work is getting busy. So I'm going to quit rambling. I'll let you guys get back to your day. I, again, will try and, do another video sooner. Thank you to all of you who reached out to make sure I was still okay and doing all right. It really means a lot to get messages on Instagram and just know that you're thinking about me and that you care. So thank you for those who reached out. I will try not to disappear for a month again like that, or a month and a half, almost 2. And I guess just stitch happy. June is going to be WIPGO and Frogwarts 2 prep. So, and then I'm going to follow Michelle's lead on her usual time and do a little sweewee, stitch what you want when you want. See what I can fit into some challenges on Semi-Sane Stitcher, and I'm going to give myself some grace. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what I gravitate towards, see what I grab, see what I want to stitch. And I'm missing full coverage stitching right now. So I'm hoping that that's where I'll make most of my progress, but we'll see. And then I'll have some updates for you guys hopefully in a couple weeks. So for those of you who watched, thank you and take care. And I hope you all have a good morning. Thanks again, Gail, for my mug, and we'll talk soon. Bye.